Hey, I'm Remington Hernandez here at Hartwick State Park, and I'm standing in the logging museum section of the park with Miss Hillary Pine, who is a historian for the northern Lower Peninsula of Michigan. How you doing, Hillary?
Yeah, I'm great, thanks.
So, first of all, could you give us a little bit of information about the logging museum?
Yeah, so this museum, the two buildings that we have here, these were built in the 1930s by the Civilian Conservation Corps, and there was logging happening in this park well before the 30s, really in the 1890s. That was the height of it. The logging camp, the real one, was located a couple miles away from where we're standing right now, and they were logging thousands of acres here. And then in the 1930s, like I said, the Civilian Conservation Corps, they built these two buildings to be a museum to the logging industry.
Now, logging is obviously a huge industry here in Michigan. So what do you talk about when you bring people through?
Typically, when we do tours here, we talk about what the logging industry, what the life was like here in the 1890s. We talk about the tools that they used, the equipment that they used. We talk about life in the bunkhouse, what it smelled like, what they ate, and those kinds of things.
And people who want to come here, what will they experience if they bring their kids, or what they, if they're just coming by themselves, experience?
Yeah, if you come in the summertime, we have programming pretty much every day, whether it's historic toys, the kinds of games kids would play with in the 1890s. We do historic cooking, we do historic laundry, and talk about how often or not often at all the Lumberjacks wash their clothes.
And how much of what you talk about goes into conservation?
We always try to bring that DNR message in. Of course, we talk about the extreme logging of the 1890s and why we don't do that today, and the practices that the DNR uses today to do responsible forest management.
And surrounded by these gorgeous trees in this gorgeous park, do you have a favorite spot to kind of talk about or exhibit? I don't know. It's all really exciting and really interesting. My favorite might be the bunkhouse, because one of my favorite things is historic food. And I love to do the historic cooking. I love to do programs in the bunkhouse and talk about where they were sleeping and what they were wearing and how bad it smelled and what they ate. And these people lived in those bunkhouses all times of the year, even in the winter. Like, what was the kind of conditions they went through?
It was hard. It was a hard job. They worked 6 days a week, sun up till sundown. It was cold. It was a really hard life. There was no doctor in camp, so if you got injured, that was, really not good. It was tough. It was a hard life.
And people who come here, they can actually interact with some of the exhibits in there. I saw 2 beds. Can you actually lay in the beds?
You can try out the beds. We have some slightly comfy straw mattresses, and yeah, you're welcome to hop in and feel what it was like to sleep in a lumberjack's bed.
And do you actually do some logging here? Do demonstrations, or?
We do. We have crosscut saw demonstrations, and it's a pretty small log, so you don't have to be that intense, but you just need a partner, and we instruct you how to use it, and you can try it out.
And that sounds like a whole lot of fun. Now, if people want to come down, how can they find out more, and where can they find Hartwick Pines State Park?
We are right outside of Grayling, super easy, off I-75. It's exit 259. So super, super close to I-75. You can always call us up here at the Visitor Center, and we're happy to give you better directions.
Now, do people need a recreation pass to get in?
They do, yeah. So all of our programs here are free of charge, but you do need a recreation passport to enter the park.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Hillary. And a final question. Going around here, have you learned as much yourself about logging?
Oh, yeah. I haven't been in this position too long, so I have learned so much since I've been here, even really about modern logging and modern forestry, which I didn't know much about at all. So, yeah, it's been a huge education working here.
Well, a lot of education here and a lot of interesting things here at Hartwick Pines State Park at the Logging Museum here. If you want to find out more, you can log on to the DNR's website and find out what you can do here. At the Hartwick Pines State Park, I'm Remington Hernandez for My News 26.